Coming up, 5 News reporter Bo Russell will join us live with Bentonville's mayor to give us the result.
I don't think anything in Arkansas has changed other than researchers who study the effects of medicine now will have more opportunity to study the effects of medical marijuana.
Plus, after President Trump issues an executive order to reclassify marijuana, Arkansas is taking a closer look as to how it will impact business and state oversight. Well, thank you for joining us here for your 5 News at 10. I'm Joe Ellison. Darren and Scott have the holiday week off. Let's get you straight to the weather with Joshua. Not looking too bad out there. Just doesn't seem like it's almost Christmas.
Yeah, it feels pretty odd for this time of year just because you can see over my shoulder, Fayetteville is 61 degrees and it is 10 o'clock. You know, at this time we should be right around the 30s, but we are about 30 degrees warmer than where we should be on average for this time of year. So as you can see, it's pretty warm out there, and there is some good news. Even though it is warm out there, you can see there's plenty of people enjoying Lights of the Ozarks. Just because it's comfortable out there, it's a little bit cool, but it's not freezing or anything like that. That southerly wind's going to help make those temperatures feel pretty good out there across the area. 64 in Poto right now. So like I said, it's comfortable for the Christmas activities now that the sun has set. So if you have plans to get out there and enjoy it just because it's pretty comfortable. It'll be so for the next several days. I'll have a full look at that here coming up, but you can see ranging anywhere from the 60s, from the lower to upper 60s at the moment. Winds are calm right now, but a couple gusts up to 25 occasionally will be possible. And then as we head into the hourly forecast, you can see we've got some clouds that start to build in overnight tonight into tomorrow morning with mild temperatures. I'll show you just how mild we start off tomorrow morning and a look at that potential record-breaking forecast for your Christmas coming up.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. Well, Bentonville leaders just wrapped up their city council meeting tonight. They debated on how to pay for major sewer expansion as the city grows. 5 News reporter Bo Russell has been at that city hall meeting tonight and joins us live with Mayor Stephanie Orman with the latest. Good evening, Bo.
Hey, good evening, Joe. Yeah, we're very lucky to have Mayor Orman with us tonight. This was a big meeting. There were a lot of people here. I would butcher all the information. So can you give us a pretty just simplified explanation of what this big topic was tonight?
Sure. So we're working right down to the wire here in Bentonville because we have large growth here and we have some issues with some of our infrastructure that we need to address. And so tonight we passed a wastewater revenue bond backed by development fees. And we have a gracious offer of a loan through the Ellis Walton Foundation that's helped us with funding this.
Fantastic. And you mentioned growth. You know, Arkansas was named by a study today the #1 state in the country for people moving to states. Can you talk a little bit about how Bentonville has felt that, the good things, you know, kind of the things you're seeing?
I think if you read into that study, it's going to tell you that Bentonville is the #1 city that people are moving to. Obviously, we have jobs here, and I think that's the attraction. But we also have a high quality of life, and so people do want to be in Bentonville and live in Bentonville. But when you go from a small city to a large city, all of your infrastructure has to adjust with that. And so what we were talking about tonight with the wastewater revenue bond has to deal with the capacity in our lines, 12-inch and larger lines. And so tonight we were able to find a funding mechanism to be able to move those projects so that development can happen.
Fantastic. And we have details of that on our website. The numbers were way too confusing for me to get into. That's why there's experts who do that. But just in case someone reads those proposals on the website, the outcome tonight was
that we passed it, so we'll move forward with that, and we'll put in place the development fees so that we don't have to push these rates onto anything onto ratepayers for future growth in our wastewater in our lines that are 12-inch and larger. And so that's what we accomplished tonight to be able to move development forward.
Mayor, thank you so much for your time. Joe, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks for that update, Bo. Appreciate that. Well, the Washington County Quorum Court is still in the middle of their special meeting. They were set to talk about a permit for that controversial concrete plant in Prairie Grove, but justices discussed tabling it until January. Prairie Grove residents are planning to present a petition against that proposed plant. The court has been discussing a ranch property being developed by Planning Commissioner Fred Gully for the past 4 hours now. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the Prairie Grove plant tomorrow on your 5 News This Morning. Meanwhile, in Sebastian County, election officials are gearing up for a special election to fill the seat of late Senator Gary Stubblefield. He served District 26. A meeting was held today where they did logistical and accuracy testing for the voting machines. Now, the first primary date for the election is 2 weeks from tomorrow. There will be 5 Republicans and 1 independent running there on the ballot. New information tonight coming out of Fort Smith, where a man is dead. Police say he attempted to break into an apartment last night. Investigators say the person who called 911 was in an apartment with his girlfriend and children when the suspect tried to push through the front door. When police arrived at the scene there off North 11th, officers found the suspect, they say, Wayne Nance, close by the apartment, shot and killed. An investigation is still underway. Police say a prosecutor will now investigate to determine if charges are needed. Meanwhile, in Benton County, the man accused of several graphic sexual charges entered a not guilty plea at a hearing today. Wade Green is accused of multiple sex crimes with a minor, alongside concealing the death of a stillborn baby after an abortion attempt. Benton County prosecutor Brian Sexton told us his next hearing in court is set for February. We have the full details of these accusations and the investigation at 5newsonline.com. Well, a silver alert has been deactivated in Rogers for an 80-year-old woman with dementia. Authorities say they were able to find the missing woman after 6 hours of searching. Rogers police say they responded to the Murado Senior Living Center around 10 a.m. At about 2:30, police say they got a tip of a doorbell camera footage matching the description of the woman. Search teams were then able to find her in a ravine not too far from where that camera footage was taken. The woman was later taken to a hospital where she was reunited with family. Well, seasonal flu activity is picking up across the country just in time for Christmas. So what can you do to stay safe? Well, according to the Centers for Disease Control, the most recent numbers estimate more than 4 million flu-like illnesses and nearly 1,900 deaths nationwide. The State Department of Health says that the best defense against the flu is hand washing, getting your flu shot, and staying home, even if it means canceling Christmas plans to protect elderly, kids, and pregnant women from more severe cases.
We always have a little bit of a surge before Christmas. This year it does seem to be a little extra severe.
It will be a number of weeks before we have a sense of how well the current vaccine is protecting against the currently circulating strain.
Influenza has been reported as the most frequently reported, which according to the Cleveland Clinic is more widespread and severe during flu season. Well, a recent executive order by President Trump could change how marijuana is classified at the federal level. But what does that mean for Arkansas? With medical marijuana legal here and recreational use still banned, Maya Ellison gives us a closer look at how this decision could affect patients, businesses, and state oversight.
We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain.
President Trump signed an executive order last week directing federal agencies to move marijuana from a Schedule I to a Schedule III drug. It's a move drawing national attention, including here in Arkansas.
I don't think anything in Arkansas has changed other than researchers who study the effects of medicine now will have more opportunity to study the effects of medical marijuana.
State leaders stress the order does not legalize marijuana and it does not override Arkansas law. In a statement, a spokesperson for Attorney General Tim Griffin says any federal reclassification would not alter or impact Arkansas's constitutional provisions or marijuana laws. Arkansas legalized medical marijuana only through a voter-approved amendment in 2016.
If you listen to the statements that President Trump made, it was to try to develop new treatments for these chronically ill patients, and especially those with cancer that may receive some relief. It is strictly a medical application, but the change in his executive order was strictly going to affect research.
So, we took a look at the numbers. According to the Arkansas Department of Health, more than 113,000 Arkansans currently hold medical marijuana cards, underscoring how widely the program is already used. But Senator Caldwell says the biggest impact won't be at dispensaries. It'll be in laboratories.
Do you see this having an impact on law enforcement or criminal charges here in Arkansas?
No, the researchers will be able to obtain samples and study it, where in times past they have not.
We received a statement from the Department of Finance, the liaison for the Arkansas Medical Marijuana Commission. It says that, quote, "We are reviewing the details of the order to determine any impact to the state, including the medical marijuana industry. We don't have any specifics at this time as it will require additional review. That agency would likely see the most impact if the federal reclassification is finalized."
Well, that was Maya Ellison reporting. Now, the order also addresses CBD and hemp-derived products, a long-running issue in Arkansas, but any changes would come after further federal review, with state leaders still assessing potential impacts.